I have been covering the triple X threat on this channel for a while. The triple X threat is basically XRP, XLM, and XDC. And the reason why I call them the triple threat is because they are three main projects in this space that have been fully focused on the utility side of, the crypto space forever, since almost their inception. So as we really talk about these three, and as we do start to see the entire space shifting, I do think that these are three projects that everyone should be aware of. So with that in mind, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And also, if you guys do want more access to a ton of free valuable information, join up in the free Discord. There's going to be a link down in the description below. It is one of the best Discord groups out there. So what are you guys waiting for? Join up. You won't regret it. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about this post here from rwa.xyz. Institutions tokenizing real world assets. It started back in 2022 with Franklin Templeton. 2023, we have KKR, Hamilton Lane, and then Societe Generale. 2024, UBS, BlackRock, Guggenheim, and Brevan Howard. And then in 2025, everyone. Literally everyone. That's the prediction from rwa.xyz. And you might be thinking, there's no way that this is, this is being exaggerated. There's no way that this is going to happen. But if we think about what's happening right now in the tokenization space, it is building up to that. I do think that 2025, we are going to see tokenization really become one of the biggest pieces of this space. And I think that the amount that we have in tokenization or tokenized assets right now and around the tokenization space, which I think is like about $13 billion, I believe, that is going to grow significantly. And it really does start with some of these utility players. Now, let's actually go over here real quick to Andre Kasserman. Now, for those that don't know, Andre did spend a lot of time at Swift. I believe he has 20 years of experience at Swift. He's now really kind of full on, all in on the DLT narrative because, again, the DLT space is basically becoming the space where everything that we are watching, become a reality around, digital currencies, payments being, streamlined. The revolution essentially around tech is happening through DLT. So, it makes sense for these big players like Andre Kasserman, for an example, to go from Swift to all of a sudden all in on the DLT narrative. And we have here, yes, indeed, and this is talking about a tool from XDC. We will discuss this too with the ITFA Worldwide community in New York City on Thursday with XinFin USA and D2 Legal Tech using below roadmap. More info here. Now, this is the roadmap that he posted back on December 10th. And this is actually a full-on timeline, actually. And we have from 1973 all the way up to 2025. Now, going all the way back to 1973, we have Swift MTs to automate financial messaging. Then we have 1999. This is ISO 20022 to align the financial industry around messaging semantics. Now, ISO 20022 didn't get fully introduced until 2004. Now we're just starting to see it become, a reality with adoption. And then, of course, 2010, APIs to share data on a permissioned basis. This is APIs. I've been talking about API plug and play technology. A lot of these DLT platforms and a lot of these infrastructure players like Ripple actually have API plug and play technology already incorporated within their product suite. So that's a big one. And then, of course, we have 2020, distributed ledgers to track and share data on a permissionless basis. And we actually have, this is with digital negotiable instruments, which, by the way, XDC is fully embracing this. They're fully pushing this forward. We have lawmakers embrace MLATR, whilst lenders start to use DLs to digitize negotiable instruments. And then 2025, digital currencies to settle on-chain and to create on-chain investment products. This is with tokenization. So he's also predicting that 2025 is going to be a very big year for tokenization. We have digital securities, STOs, and digital currencies, stablecoins, and CBDCs. Digital assets become a priority for regulators, which it is happening, as it unlocks Web3 innovations across all industries. And yes, I do think that from 2025 onward, this space is going to experience a major, a major change. We're not just talking about regulations, we're talking about adoption, acceptance, growth. This space is about to become a big piece of the global system. And I know that I sound, like a broken record when I say that, but we're just now starting to see all of the pieces falling into place. Now, outside of this, remember that XDC has also been fully focused on the trade finance space. And we have here XDC boldly brings blockchain to the real world. Major milestones in trade finance, real world asset tokenization, and protocol security serve as catalysts for growth as we approach 2025. And yes, remember what I've been talking about, right? Utility is the driver for 2025. It is going to be one of the biggest narratives around the space in 2025. Tokenization, all of these big, narratives that we've been hearing about with, RWAs and things like that, that's all supporting the utility narrative. And when we look at this article, right, we have XDC boldly brings blockchain to the real world. And we have major milestones in trade finance, real world asset tokenization, and protocol security serve as catalysts for growth as we approach 2025. Blockchain adoption gained widespread appeal in 2025. Now more than ever, XDC network is being recognized as an important piece of the global crypto landscape. And it is, right? XDC is a big player here. Now, if we scroll down, we could see some of the big moves. For an example, in 2024, the environment surrounding blockchain and trade finance improved significantly with the promise of crypto legislation and regulatory guardrails in the US and elsewhere on the horizon. In some parts of the world, such developments have already been realized. In June, France officially adopted the Model Law on Electronic Transferable Records, MLATR, which provides a framework for the legal use of electronic transferable records. Japan followed only a month later, joining the UK and the UAE in recognizing electronic bills of lading. Leveraging this regulatory clarity, XDC Network saw deepened integrations with XDC Trade Network, the MLATR compliant platform for trade document exchange, and the Infocom Media Development Authority's IMDA Trade Trust, the legalized and standardized digital trade platform. And here we actually have that quote. XDC Trade Network conducted the first ever conversion of a paper bill of lading to an EBL on the Trade Trust platform late last year, serving as a proof point for a successful conversion and perhaps more importantly, the cooperation of notable industry leaders such as Propine, TradeFinix, DocuTrade by Yodel Plus, and then also TradeFlow Capital Management. And, again, this is all bringing home the bacon around tokenization. If we really think about tokenization, trade finance as a whole will be tokenized on chain. We even have down here that as tokenization began to flow throughout the blockchain industry, XDC network participants set anchor in a unique token offering targeted for a Q1 2025 launch. The upcoming project will create novel on-chain liquidity and earning opportunities while providing capital for one of the network's bread and butter industries, aka trade finance. And here are just some of the moves, by the way, made by XDC, but I'm actually very excited about this unique token offering, which is going to be launching in Q1 of next year. Again, a big catalyst around XDC. And if we look at the global presence, yes, they have been setting anchors around the whole world, just waiting for this big push around trade finance. XDC Network is a destination for globally recognized technology leaders as well. We could see some of the big players like SBI, for an example, Deutsche Telekom. I mean, the moves being made around XDC, it's very impressive. And then, of course, XDC 2.0 launched, which is a major upgrade, which also allows for a lot of these major moves to be, happening on XDC. There's a lot more information here, obviously, but I want to talk more so about XRP and also XLM. So let's dive on into that as well. With ROUSD launching, this is a big one. It's going to be launching on both the XRP ledger and also on Ethereum. But this stablecoin is a big game changer because it is highlighting the use around cross-border payments, for an example, but also it's a payment service token as well. If we actually look here, we have payment service providers tap into new markets with a widely available compliance and payments-focused stablecoin. And then we also have centralized exchanges. But the main one that I'm looking at is cross-border payments. Why? Well, because now we have over here from XDC trade finance being revolutionized. Ripple has always been focused on the cross-border payment market. We even have here from Monica Long, incredibly proud to share this milestone on stage at Ripple Swell. RLUSD is designed for financial use cases such as payments, tokenization, and DeFi. We will use RLUSD alongside XRP in our payment solutions to enable faster, more reliable, and cost-effective payment solutions to enable faster, more reliable, and cost-effective cross-border payments. The big thing here is that they will use RLUSD alongside XRP. This is complementary. They both complement each other. Our customers and partners wanted an enterprise-grade stablecoin, and RLUSD will deliver just that. And when you combine RLUSD on the XRP ledger, now you have very efficient payment flows. You have very efficient liquidity services. I mean, this is very beneficial for both RLUSD and XRP. But also, it highlights the utility aspect around, blockchain. But also, if we think about cross-border payments, October 24th, cross-border payments, Citi spotlights DLT. FSB reports on G20 progress. And remember that Ripple is on the CPMI group with the BIS, which is fully focused on delivering on the G20 cross-border payments targets, which is improving speed, cost, and transparency and access for cross-border payments. This is things that Ripple has been fully, embracing, trying to build upon, trying to fix. And by the way, this is with Swift. All of this is with Swift. And remember that Swift and Ripple are on the CPMI group, delivering on the same exact vision here. It's very interesting to see all of these big moves being made and also stablecoins being a focus. Given stablecoins are becoming more user-friendly, we'd observe that retail figures like those in the table could drive greater adoption of stablecoins unless banks and payment service providers move faster. Stablecoins are going to become a big hit, especially around payments. I keep telling you guys that you need to focus on stablecoins. When we think about what's happening here, DLT with stablecoins, tokenization, it's all really, becoming, one big revolution in disguise. And I think that so many people are missing the target. This space is so overlooked right now in terms of the utility side. We have down here that DLT can help liquidity demands. This is something that Ripple has been fully focused on with XRP since day one, around cross-border payments. It's so funny to finally see all of these things now being addressed by the big players in the room like Citi. It's only a matter of time. And even over here from October 25th, just a day after this article got written, BRICS Plus expands plans from DLT payments to DLT clearing and depository. This is a big deal. Listen, DLT is being adopted around the world, which is putting a lot of pressure on the US as well to do the same. US-based players will be tapped in. Hedera, Algorand, Ripple. I'm looking at the big players. Now, also, when we think about what's going on, let's move over here to Stellar, because a lot of people are missing the big focus with Stellar, which is tokenization. Stellar does not get brought up enough in discussions when it comes to tokenization. We go back to that first post over here, right? One of the first players to really set their eyes on tokenization in terms of institutions was Franklin Templeton. Check this out.
On the traditional way that we record a transaction, it cost us about $1 to do that. So for us to do 50,000 transactions on a traditional rail costs $50,000. 50,000 transactions that we've done on the Stellar network has cost us $120. So there is a huge cost saving, but then that cost saving also leads to efficiencies in the sense that you don't have to do the reconciliation of multiple ledgers, you don't have to remediate issues, everyone gets the same information synchronously. Yeah, so it's a real cost that we can identify the actual saving, and then these other benefits. We spend about $200 million a year on remediation and reconciliation. If we can move all the 1.7 trillion of our assets, currently we have about 500 million. If we can move that all onto blockchain, we will save $200 million, excluding the transaction costs, which will be 0.0025 of what they are today.
And remember, right? Franklin Templeton continues to talk about Stellar. They continue to talk about how efficient Stellar is. Public blockchains is the number one thing that they are looking at. This is why I keep telling you guys that you need to focus on the extremely efficient public blockchains. And yes, Stellar is one of them. Stellar is one that I think everyone should have their eyes on. Yes, XRP and XDC are extremely bullish, but you also need to focus on Stellar because they're making some very big moves. And talking about those very big moves, check out this as well, the benefits of Stellar's blockchain technology. This is Danielle Dixon, the CEO and Executive Director at Stellar Development Foundation. Check this out.
The most important piece here is that we forget that the global majority doesn't have access to the traditional banking infrastructure that we do here in the United States. And when you think about the fact that we would that the highest demand is the US dollar. They want to be able to leverage the US dollar, at least to be able to receive money from diaspora, from the US and from elsewhere. They want to be able to leverage that in a way that's cheap, efficient, and secure. That is what blockchain technology does for them. If you think about, there are several opportunities to discuss like the impact, but we have worked with the UNHCR to be able to deliver aid into countries throughout the world in a very fast and secure manner. Not only did it help the UNHCR from their security standpoint and to deliver aid quickly, it also made it so that it was much more secure for the people on the ground, so they didn't have to hold cash. The end user could receive, the refugee or the displaced, internally displaced individual receives the aid and is able to receive it within 3 minutes because of the fact that they can download the app and receive the aid right then and decide, do I want to push it to my bank account? Do I want to cash out in the local currency? How do I want to handle this? That's all done with US dollar stablecoins. And then when you think about, we just recently published a short documentary that talked about how in San Francisco, Colombia, there was an organization that was just starting up and they had to pay their individuals all in cash. And what happened is the CEO of that organization was impacted. He was actually held up because he had so much cash and he was nearly killed. He then started using blockchain technology with all of his workers, and not only did it support the work that they were doing where they were able to receive the digital asset and then cash out at the MoneyGram locations locally, they then went and spent that money in the local stores. We call that the on-chain effect. So it's not awesome. Just that it's actually leveraging the individuals, it's helping local businesses in areas where they might not have access to this kind of money. So,
and these are the leaders that are going in front of Congress, talking about the technology, addressing how significant it is. And this is so important to me. And I do think that it should be important to everyone else. Why? Why? Why is this? Well, because if we're thinking about, blockchain, if we're thinking about the future of blockchain, Congress must be aware of how disruptive the tech is, how useful the tech is. In a world where the echo chamber around crypto is always that it's utilized for fraud, there's scams, there's meme coins that are rugging everyone, you have FTX imploding, you have Luna imploding, like there's a lot of noise that's negative. These leaders like Danielle Dixon, Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, Chris Larson, all of these big CEOs around the space, Lehman Baird, Mance Harmon, I could go on and on and on and mention them. They are the ones that are here telling you, hey, this does have real world benefits to it. You are seeing it. When you have Franklin Templeton literally saying, hey, we were able to move 50,000 transactions, at such a low fraction of what the traditional world would be. It proves to you that this space is going to be around for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years plus. We are starting to see these small effects right now. Think about where this space will be in 5, 10 years. Think about where XRP, XDC, XLM will be in 5, 10 years. We are planting our seeds here. All of this proves to me that XRP, XDC, and XLM are going to change the world in a very big way. And yes, there's other ones. I can mention HBAR, I can mention QNT, I can mention a lot of these. But the triple threat, XRP, XDC, and XLM, have been around for so long. They've been here building, and they're doing an immense amount of work to push this space forward in a very positive way. And I do think that in 2025, a lot of this work is going to pay off. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, so notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.